All right, let's get into this, shall we? Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Andrew Kirchhoff, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we are live streaming for the next, hour and a half, maybe more, prior to the Saturday games via Week 18. I want to welcome you all to the channel and the live stream. Of course, today's objective, help set your lineups, mainly for, the two games that are going on today, right? We have four teams. We have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos, and we have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. We want to first and foremost handle everything related to today. And then tomorrow, of course, I'll again live stream tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, as we'll have more information regarding players, whether they're in, they're out, whether or not they're going to play for more than a quarter, etc., etc. But that's the entire objective for today. Help you guys set your lineup. So I'm here. If you guys got questions, please go ahead, type them in the chat. Let me know what you guys need for your Week 18 championship week. I considered the potential where, yes, there are going to be people in Week 18, but I couldn't live with myself if there was a possibility of me just completely not making content for Week 18. Like if I helped you guys get to this point, I gotta see it through. I gotta see it completely through and help you guys win some championships. So that's why I'm here. Glad to help in any way I possibly can. All right, let's see here. Let's make a couple changes here. All right. So, C. Allen says, yeah, no problem. No problem, Allen. No problem at all. All right, Carlton Evans. Harris or Stevenson? Okay, so again, that's a question. That's a tomorrow question, but I'll give you guys my thoughts on the matter regardless, okay? First and foremost, Damien Harris, limited practice all week long, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that does keep him on track to play this upcoming Sunday, which I do expect him to play. If he's active and playing, I probably want to have him in my lineup, but similar to last week, there's always a possibility where he ends up re-aggravating that injury and Ramondre Stevenson's running the entire backfield. So there's risk versus reward. You could probably get a couple touchdowns out of Damien Harris if, in fact, all goes well. But that being said, they do play against the Miami Dolphins. It's one of the best run-stop defenses in the National Football League as of late. Obviously, we saw the Tennessee Titans perform pretty well against them. So if I'm just giving the safest possible play, it's probably Ramondre Stevenson. Because Damien Harris, it's just too risky to put a player into your overall lineup, especially in the final week of the season when the New England Patriots, obviously, not only have they clinched a playoff spot, they have aspirations of winning their division. I think there's a very good chance that they may not even, push him too far. It just may be Ramondre Stevenson leading this backfield. So I go Stevenson right now. Let's see here. Okay, continuing to scroll down. Caitlin says, hello, thanks for the amazing advice this season. The accuracy and insight is absolute next level. Don't know what to do with Mitchell, Foreman, Gibson, Penny, and Carter. Okay, so Elijah Mitchell, he should be perfectly fine to play. He did miss Wednesday's practice with the knee injury, of course, that he's been dealing with quite some time, but he obviously came back, practiced fully on Thursday and Friday, so he should be a good play. In terms of Foreman's great, Gibson's great, Penny, Penny's got to be the must-start of that group. So if I'm going ahead and ordering this, Caitlin, I would probably go in the order of playing Penny first, Mitchell second, Foreman third, Gibson fourth, and Carter fifth. So again, Penny, Mitchell, Foreman, Gibson, Carter. That's how I would align that backfield. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. All right, Jose says, Pats, Colts, or Cleveland defense in Week 18. All right, let's look at my rankings for defense right now. I've got preliminary rankings in this regard, but okay, so let's see here. What are your three options again? Pats, Colts, and Cleveland. All right, cool. So I have the New England Patriots as the number 3 defense on my list out of the top 12. Colts are number 4, and Cleveland's number 10. So I'd go with the New England Patriots at that point. Jose, thank you. Justin McGuire says, James Conner or Amon-Ra St. Brown? I think it mainly, I'd say Amon-Ra St. Brown. I was going to say it mainly depends on the scoring format because, the last time we saw James Conner take on the Seattle Seahawks, if you guys remember that game, it was a 30-point boom. Of course, with Chase Edmonds leaving that game early with an injury, with Colt McCoy at the quarterback position. But again, James Conner's been limited all week. If he plays, it's fantastic, but there's always the ability for him to re-aggravate that injury. With Amon-Ra St. Brown also getting Jared Goff back against the Green Bay Packers team, who probably won't have their starters in for the entirety of that game. I'm going Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think, regardless of whether it's half or full PPR. Season's over, but I still came to support my boy. Thank you, Vic. I appreciate that. Mark Monson says, Mahomes a safe play today? Yeah, I think so, 100%. You think he'll play the full game? Absolutely. Mainly because, well, okay, here's a couple things. First and foremost, the most valuable information as of today is that Ronald Darby and Patrick Surtain II, both of the starting cornerbacks for the Denver Broncos, are not playing today. So Patrick Mahomes is an even more elevated play than I previously anticipated earlier this week because we didn't have that information. Obviously, the head coach of the Denver Broncos made that apparent today. So that's huge. That helps Tyreek Hill. That helps Byron Pringle. Of course, it helps Patrick Mahomes to the next level. So yeah, I think he's a fantastic play today. Nothing to worry about. And also, they're vying for the number 1 seed in the AFC. If somehow, some way, the Houston Texans beat the Tennessee Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs win today, they have the number 1 seed and they get the bye week. So that's what they're looking to go ahead and do and try to heal from their injuries. All right, I saw a couple donations come in. I'm going to go ahead and hop there real quick, then I'll come back to the chat. Cody sent in a donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Cody. Says, really need some help this week. Mixon is out. Would you take a chance with Samaje Perine or Boston Scott if he plays? Okay, so Boston Scott's not going to play today. It is going to be Kenneth Gainwell. So if it's between Samaje Perine or Kenneth Gainwell, assuming he's available in your league, I'm just making that assumption. If Scott is, I'd rather play Gainwell. I talked about it yesterday in my Hidden Gems video. Whenever he's given great opportunity, the man has delivered. And he has found the end zone. And regardless of whether it is Gardner Minshew or Jalen Hurts today at the quarterback position, because again, they haven't made that definitive statement in regards to who's starting at the quarterback position, because again, the Eagles don't have to win. And they are, of course, dealing with a lot of COVID situations with their respective teams. So right now, if there's Gainwell, I'd play him over Samaje. If that isn't a possibility, then of course you play Samaje over Scott because Scott's not going to play. Also, would you play Scary Terry, Brown, Zay Jones, Bateman, Davis, or Claypool? I'm assuming Brown is Marquise Hollywood Brown. Out of the group, I do prefer Scary Terry. I think the matchup against the New York Giants is really good for him. Overall, I think the next best option is probably Zay Jones. So we'd probably go Scary Terry, Zay Jones, and then the rest of the gang. I would really like Claypool only if Deontay Johnson doesn't play this week, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe he got activated from the injury reserve yesterday, off the COVID reserve. So I wouldn't really trust Claypool in that regard right now. So yeah, I'd go Scary Terry there. And then your final question, Cody, was Packers defense or Titans defense? I would go with the Titans defense. I don't expect the Packers defense to have a full capacity of players. I think they may be running with their second team late in that second half. Thank you. All right, let's see here. Fantasy Dog sent in a donation, but there wasn't a message attached to it, which is weird. All right, let me see if I can find anything. Fantasy. All right, let's see your Fantasy Dog. Anything? Fantasy Dog, if you could do me a favor, send in a. Oh well, okay. So you're just sending in those little emojis. If you have a question, just let me know. Just type it in the chat, and I'll be sure to answer that. I appreciate your support, my guy. Thank you. Kevin, send in a question. Says, PPR, Amon-Ra St. Brown, James Conner, Rashad Penny. Now, that's a really tough one. Rashad Penny versus St. Brown. Ooh, in a PPR scoring format, why not play both? That's my question. Because I think by tomorrow morning, I'll have my full rankings on screen. I'll be pretty surprised if you have better options than both those guys. So Kevin, if you can in the chat, let me know who you're starting over St. Brown and Penny right now, which you have to make this flex decision. Thanks, I appreciate that, so that we can continue on the conversation. T Wayne 44 says Gibson or Chubb. I currently have Chubb over Gibson. I didn't anticipate Chubb to play this week, but it looks like he's going to play, even regardless of the injury he sustained last week, which kept him limited. So for right now, yeah, I mean, if he's starting, he's in my lineup against Cincinnati. Trayvon Kirby says, Should I pair Darrell Williams with Patrick Mahomes or D'Onta Foreman as my RB2 spot? Currently, I have Darrell Williams ahead of D'Onta Foreman in my half PPR, full PPR leagues because of his contributions in the receiving game. Like I mentioned a little bit yesterday during my Hidden Gems video, in the 6 games that Darrell Williams has played without Clyde Edwards-Helaire this season, he has had a minimum of 3 receptions in every single contest, which of course has led to the boatload of receiving yards, touchdowns that have accompanied that receiving work. So for right now, I would prefer Darrell Williams against the Denver Broncos over D'Onta Foreman in a half full PPR format. In a standard, at that point, I'd hear out the conversation of playing Foreman there. But for right now, yeah, let's go with Darrell Williams. Let's see here. Cameron sent in a question, says pick 3, Zeke, Javonte, Penny, Derek Ogunbowale, Michael Carter, Saquon Barkley. Okay, so if I'm picking 3 out of this group, Rashad Penny's the highest ranked in my eyes, followed by Zeke and then Javonte Williams. So those are the 3 that I'm playing. Penny, Zeke, Javonte. Pick 3 also Chase, Osborne, St. Brown, Zay Jones, McLaurin. All right, St. Brown, highest ranked there, followed by McLaurin. I don't know if Jamar Chase is going to play. I'm going to assume that he's not going to. So then the next best option in my eyes is probably playing KJ Osborne. Thank you very much, Cameron. I appreciate that. All right, Stephen George sent in a very generous donation. Stephen says, hey, Andrew, thanks for all the videos. Projected last place at the draft with a terrible team. Had injury-ridden, snuck into the playoffs at 6th place, and won my championship and the bragging rights. Stephen, that is... Okay, you know what I often find? I don't know what website you play on, Yahoo, ESPN, NFL.com, or maybe some other site, but I often find that when my team is given like the worst grade and they're telling me, oh, you are projected the least amount of wins at the end of the season, I often find those are always my championship teams because the projections of those given sites don't really take into account a lot of the research that we do in the offseason, and I always find success there. But hey, congratulations. That is an incredible comeback story. Well done, Steven. I appreciate it. Glad I could help in any way I possibly could this season. All right, hopping back into this chat. Let's see here. Again, I'm going to try to answer everybody's questions. Even after this afternoon game starts, I'll be here for hopefully a little bit after. Just depends on whether or not my brain falls apart or not. Okay, so let's see here. So Darrell Williams or Rashad Penny. Yeah, you for sure want to play Rashad Penny there, Jim. 100%. All right, let me go back up into this chat. We're prior to talk. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. We did that. Would you start Harris, Pirine, or Keyshawn Vaughn? Right now, I am sitting in a scenario where I'm probably preferring. I mean, look, I want to play Harris, but I don't think it's worth it. I think you just play Vaughn out of that group, YY73. Andrew says, would you play Zeke or Gibson this week? Because of Tony Pollard's absence, because Tony Pollard's out, I am playing Zeke over Gibson. What's up, bud? What quarterback do you like best today with a stack? If I'm stacking quarterbacks today, I'm stacking Patrick Mahomes and I'm stacking him with Tyreek Hill. Yeah, that's what I'm doing today. Otherwise, if you're looking for a cheaper stack, you would just stack them with like Byron Pringle and hope for the best. But outside of that, I can't really trust any of those Dallas Cowboys receivers. Maybe Amari Cooper with Dak Prescott, but it's always a risk in that regard. But again, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, considering Patrick Surtain and Ronald Darby are out for the Denver Broncos, that certainly keeps their chances of covering Tyreek Hill at an all-time low. Let's see here. Hayden says Michael Carter or Pirine. I would play Michael Carter there. I think the weather and the game script that is going to lead in the Jets versus Buffalo game is going to be run the ball and find success there, considering there's probably going to be rain, probably going to be snow. Yeah, I'd go Darrell. I saw Darrell Williams. I go Michael Carter there. Should I bet on Waller playing this week? If in fact we get to tomorrow and there's no conversation in the morning in regards to Darren Waller being inactive, then yeah, you should bet on him playing. Because if I'm not mistaken, let me go and confirm this. Let me look at the practice report from the Las Vegas Raiders this week. According to, all right, if my internet wants to load properly, thank you. Where's Waller on here? Darren Waller, limited practice all week long. He's tagged as questionable. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think Foster Moreau, okay, yeah, he was dealing with an injury, but he was full practice. I'd tag that he's probably going to play. I'd assume he'd probably play. Cody sent in another question, says, thanks. Hill or Huntley with Andrews stack? Even with Mark Andrews, I'm still playing Taysom Hill. I think Taysom Hill has a far better chance of scoring a pretty good week in terms of fantasy against the Atlanta Falcons defense rather than Huntley versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, yeah, I would go with Taysom Hill there. All right, so let's see here. Shant, 510 says Debo, JJ, or Tyreek Hill. All right, so right now, my readjusted rankings as of this morning, I have Tyreek Hill, I have Justin Jefferson, then I have Debo Samuel in that order. Okay? Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Debo Samuel. That would be top to bottom, the order in which I would play them. So for right now, out of those three, Sean, I'd play Tyreek Hill. Fabio says you're the GOAT. Thanks for everything. No problem. Glad I could help in any way there. Let's see here. Kansas City defense or New Orleans defense? I'd play Kansas City this week. Yeah. I think I have Kansas. Yeah, Kansas City is my number 2 defense of the week. Again, it's Drew Lock, man. I mean, sure, maybe he scores a touchdown late in that contest, but it is really going to be a one-sided affair. As of late, the Kansas City Chiefs have been incredible defensively. They've really, allowed a lot of teams to. Sure, last week, Joe Burrow went off, but that's, those are elite level players. I don't see Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy being able to do that kind of damage to Drew Lock. I just don't. So I'd play Kansas City there. Jay Ross says, rank them: Gibson, Akers, Benjamin, Vaughn, Harris, Williams. So Michel's probably the highest. I would not play Akers in any capacity. I'd only play Benjamin if, in fact, James Conner's out. So it really just is between of the available players you mentioned. I would play Jay Ross. Here it is: Michel, Darrell Williams 1 and 2, then Gibson number 3, Vaughn 4, Harris 5. That's where I would go. So for sure, Michel and Darrell Williams, and then you probably play Gibson in the flex, assuming that's an available option there. Let's see here. Rodriguez says, pick one running back, one flex for a full PPR. Josh Jacobs, Gibson, Waddle, Javonte. Let me think here. In a full PPR, I'm playing Jacobs 1,000%, and I'm probably playing Waddle at your flex. So it's Jacobs and Waddle there. Chris W says, my season is over. Let's talk Underdog Fantasy. Yeah, let's talk Underdog Fantasy. Hey, guys, listen. If you guys haven't checked them out, there's a link down in the description. Again, they're always here because if, in fact, your fantasy season's over after this week and you're still trying to play fantasy football, it's the best way to do it. I can assure you that. It's really easy to use. You can download the app today, sign up using promo code Andrew, and if, in fact, you do, Underdog Fantasy is willing to match up to $100 of your first deposit, whether it's pick'ems, whether it's redraft, whether it's best ball. Check it out. Actually, not redraft. Whether it's best ball. Actually, technically, there is a redraft. It's like it's the Saturday games. It's the Sunday games. You redraft a team every single week, compete against thousands. So check that out. A lot of fun to be had there. If you have any questions there, Chris, let me know because I will be hopping into a couple drafts in a little bit here for Underdog. DJ says, I need 2 this weekend: Zeke, Javonte, Pirine, Burkhead, Vaughn, Gainwell, or Carter. I'm probably thinking that Zeke and I'm probably thinking Zeke's the best option there. As for your second best, it's Javonte or Gainwell. If I had to put money down on one of them being the better overall play this week in like a half PPR scoring format, I'm probably thinking it's Javonte. Thank you. Let's see here. Jim says Schultz or Waller. 100% Schultz. 100%. Titans or Cleveland defense? I have Titans higher, Carlton. Michael Carter or Samaje Perine? I'd still go with Carter there, Hayden. Full PPR, Waller or Schultz? Yep, I'm still with Schultz. 100% with Schultz. Hey, Andrew, I need one for the flex. Javonte, James Conner, Ramondre, or Saquon. I play James Conner if he's available. And I feel confident enough that if, in fact, you try to play James Conner tomorrow and he doesn't go, I still feel confident enough in Ramondre as the next best there. Black Lagoon. Appreciate it. Schultz playing the entire game. My assumption is that the Cowboys are going to play the entire game. I mean, again, there's nothing that has told me differently. If there was a possibility of information coming out and where the head coach of their team, Mr. McCarthy, was like, hey, we're only playing our starters for the first half, then I'd end up saying, yeah, you know what? So be it. Good to go. But until then, for right now, we're just sitting at a point where we got to assume that they're going to play the whole game. And we got to assume that they're going to try to blow out their division rival. So, yeah. Let's see here. Help, Hill or Cousins? Currently, right now, I do have Taysom Hill over Kirk Cousins, Ron, to answer your question. Crypt Keeper says two quarterback league with a flex. Starting Jonathan Taylor and Rashad Penny. Need Russell Wilson, Darrell Williams, and Sonny Michel. Need one out of Russell Wilson, Darrell Williams, Sonny Michel. Wait, why wouldn't you play Russell Wilson over Darrell Williams and Sonny Michel? I would. I'd play Russell Wilson, especially against Arizona. I've talked about it earlier this week. Arizona's given up 2 or more touchdowns to opposing quarterbacks in like the last 8 consecutive weeks. Russell Wilson's going to be great. Henry Odom sends in a donation. Thank you very much, Henry. I appreciate that. Need 3, full PPR. 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Mike Evans, Brandon Cooks, Donta Foreman, Michelle Carter, and St. Brown. Whoo, we got a really good team there, huh? All right, so Amon-Ra St. Brown is the automatic number 1. Number 2 is probably Mike Evans. Stephon Gilmore is not playing. And then number 3 is between Sonny Michel or Brandon Cooks. Man, I think Brandon Cooks could actually put up a good number, but I think I'd probably go Sonny Michel there. The guy's had 20-plus touches for 5 consecutive weeks now. He's putting up great numbers. So I'd go St. Brown, Evans, Michel. Those are my 3 suggestions there, Henry. I appreciate it. The next best out of that group, I mean, Foreman and Cooks are incredible plays, but, man, you got so many good options there. I just have to go with them in a full PPR. So, yeah, those are your 2 wide receivers in that 1 flex. Okay, Christian sent in a question, said, would you start Michael Carter over Javonte Williams considering the quarterback situation in Denver? Would I start him over Javonte Williams? I'd consider it. I don't mind it. Am I in love with that idea? Here's the thing. I don't love Javonte Williams this week. Don't get me mistaken. I don't love him this week. If I'm not let me go check right now. My updated rankings in a half PPR right now, I have him at number 20 at the running back position. I don't love him there. And it's mainly because, of course, Melvin Gordon exists and because the offense just, it's not the same without Teddy Bridgewater there. Of course, helping all things run, smoothly. So for right now, I don't mind that. I don't mind going Michael Carter there, especially considering he'll be the starter. They're playing against the Buffalo Bills. They're terrible at stopping the run. I think it's not a bad play there. Gainwell or Swift? Ooh, that's a good question. For right now, I would say let's go Gainwell because I don't know what the heck they're doing with Swift. Last week, the head coach of the Detroit Lions came out and said, we're going to give DeAndre Swift a full workload. The guy touched the ball 7 times. Actually, he had 4 rushing attempts for 32 yards. He didn't even have 7 touches. He had 4 rushing attempts. And he was going to be unleashed, quote unquote. Yeah, okay. So, I don't know what they're doing with him. Devontae Adams thoughts? I think I have him as my number 25 wide receiver. They want to, specifically when I say that, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, they want to set the record for most receiving yards in a season by a Green Bay Packers wide receiver. Jordy Nelson's record is up for grabs, and they're certainly going to go after that in the first quarter. I think there's a good chance that Devontae Adams could come out of that first quarter with like 12 points. I honestly do. I think he can go down the field, get 60 yards and a catch for a touchdown, and be good to go. Okay, I see a couple kicker questions. Let's see here. Let me get into... I think somebody asked me a kicker question earlier. I saw one. Someone said like top 5 kickers. Let me go check what I have right now. I have Nick Folk, Matt Gay, Justin Tucker, Matt Prater, Chris Boswell. Those are my top 5 kickers of the week. I mean, if I'm just running down kickers here, after Boswell, I have Hopkins, Badgley, Elliott, Zerline, Butker, Suckup, and Brett Maher. If you guys are in need of a kicker, please go to your league and look for Brett Maher. I guarantee you he's available. I'd put money down that he's available. Let me go check this real quick. I'm going to Yahoo right now because that's the first link that I have open here. Let me look at his availability in Yahoo. Brett Maher is rostered in 2% of leagues. Okay? In 3 out of the last 4 games, he's put up 10-plus fantasy points at the kicker position. They take on Atlanta this week. It's indoors. Should be clean weather. Brett Maher, not a bad option, especially for an offense that isn't the greatest there in New Orleans. Let's see here. But again, that's assuming the other options I didn't mention aren't available, you know. Yeah, that was Brian Thomas who asked that question, top 5 kickers of the week. So let's see here. Okay, I got to scroll back up because there was a lot of questions that kind of got filtered past. If you had to choose a kicker in week 18, okay, so this is the other kicker question I saw. McPherson, no, I wouldn't play McPherson because Joe Burrow is not playing. Neither is Mixon. Neither is probably Jamar Chase, Higgins, etc. Butker or Maher. I have Maher a little bit underneath Butker in terms of overall rankings. So that's what I would do. I have an RB question, but I'll save it for tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think tomorrow there will be a little bit more smoothness in the rankings. I think my rankings are a little rigid at the moment. There's a couple players that we just have to wait and see what happens, right? Like there's James Conner we're still trying to figure out. We're still trying to figure out what the heck Aaron Jones is going to look like. What's his name? Nick Chubb. There's players like that where they're like on the cusp of maybe playing, maybe not. Let's see here. Lassie says, from 1-4 to 7-8, getting into the playoffs, and now in the Super Bowl. Holy moly. Congratulations. Glad I could help in any way. Brandon Cooks or Schultz at the flex position? I would play Brandon Cooks over Schultz. I think Schultz is going to be an incredible play. I mean, it's just, man, the fact that they have a matchup against the Eagles, and the Eagles are so bad at stopping tight ends, on top of the fact that Schultz is probably going to be unleashed because there's no Pollard, there's lack of a running game, there's no Tyron Smith, really could lend to his overall upside. But for right now, I think Brandon Cooks has just as much upside there. A couple questions got sent in via donation. Let's see here. Hamlet MD says, hey, need 2 running backs in a half PPR scoring format. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Javonte Williams, Devonta Freeman, Samaje Perine. And would you... Okay, so let's answer that question first and foremost. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. Okay, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon currently set as my... Let me look at this. They're my number 24 and 26 running backs of the week. I legitimately don't think they're going to play more than the first half. And if they do, I think it's legitimately going to be limited to the point where if there's no Aaron Rodgers out there, they're probably not moving the ball with Jordan Love. So for right now, I'm not really interested in playing either of those two. But with that said, the only running back that I trust more than them out of the group that you mentioned is Javonte Williams. So if you need 2 out of that group, you're probably playing Javonte Williams and A.J. Dillon and hoping that Dillon, is getting some work in that second half. Otherwise, you probably just have to pivot to Devonta Freeman. And then your follow-up question, and would you agree to play Allen and Johnson over Chase today? And play Allen and Johnson? I'm going to assume that's like Keenan Allen and Deontay Johnson. So if my assumption is correct in the last names there, then yes, I would play Keenan Allen and Deontay Johnson over Jamar Chase because I don't expect him to play, and even if he does, probably not at a maximum capacity. Damon Anthony says, need 2 for a championship. Penny, Michelle, Foreman, Darrell Williams. All right, cool. So Penny for sure, without a doubt. He got you there. He's going to continue to get you to that championship. As for the next 2, I think it purely depends on the scoring format. If you're playing in a full PPR, I'd play Darrell Williams. If you're playing in a half PPR, I'd play Sony Michel. Erwin Ball sends in a donation, says Bates or Hooper since Goddard is out. Right now, I would probably say Hooper. I think John Bates is fine, especially considering Ricky Seals-Jones went to the injured reserve today. But for right now, I would say that Hooper's probably the better option with David Njoku out. Let's see here. All right, Matt says Penny, Elijah Mitchell, or Elliott. If I'm playing them in any order, Matt, I'd go Penny, Elijah Mitchell, and Zeke in that order. So I'm playing Penny out of the group, and if it's between Elijah Mitchell and Zeke, I'm playing Elijah Mitchell over Zeke today. All right, let's see here. Let me scroll back up here. Tennessee or Washington defense? I'd have Washington higher. Right now, Washington sits at my number 5 defense, and Tennessee's my number 6. Brady or Hill? I have Brady higher than Hill. Again, the top 3 cornerbacks for the Carolina Panthers are out today. Or they're out tomorrow, excuse me. Any tight end gems this week? Eddie, yeah. A lot of people are mentioning John Bates. He's the tight end for the Washington football team. Ricky Seals-Jones is out. Logan Thomas is out. It does pose a lot of opportunity against the Giants, so not a bad play there as a hidden gem potentially. Osborne or Grayson? I'd play Grayson over Osborne this week. Taysom Hill or Derek Carr or Russell Wilson? I have Russell Wilson ahead of Taysom Hill and Derek Carr. So it would be in that order. Russell Wilson, Taysom Hill, Derek Carr, similar to the way it was during my my quarterback rankings video this week. Quick fire question. Who would you pick number one next year? Depends on scoring format. Let's say it's a half PPR because that's typically what I talk about. I'd go Jonathan Taylor. And then if it's a full PPR, there's really a conversation between it being Eckler or Taylor. And then after probably those two, I think Derrick Henry probably deserves the respect to be in that conversation. Are you making any underdog fantasy pick'ems? I'd love to chat about that. You're awesome. Yeah, I will definitely be doing so in a little bit. Just got to answer a couple more of these questions, kind of get everybody settled away. For those of you asking where the rankings are, again, this is how it'll probably be anytime I'm not streaming on a Sunday. Sunday mornings are purely for those rankings. So tomorrow morning, if you want to come on by and you have questions for that, that'll be settled. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be here live streaming tomorrow morning. I will have rankings on screen, updated top 36 running backs, top 36 wide receivers, top 16 quarterbacks, and tight ends with, of course, the players who played today not including in that list. So I will have updated rankings for tomorrow for those of you who are interested in, coming out tomorrow and checking those out. YY73 says Gainwell, Stevenson, or Vaughn. Right now I have Gainwell probably the highest of the group. Assuming, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to actually try to play to win here, there's a lot of potential for the young man Gainwell. How many points do you think Tyreek Hill will get in a PPR? I'd probably estimate, Justin, that he probably goes for a minimum of 16 points today. In a full PPR, minimum of 16. I'd find it very surprising if he doesn't get anything close to that number. If he doesn't get anything close to that, then they obviously blew them out because Drew Lock's throwing pick sixes, the defense is scoring, special team is scoring, and running backs are scoring, right? So if they have short field positioning, they're down in the red zone, there's a lot of turnovers, there may be a possibility where Tyreek Hill is not given that opportunity. But other than that, I think they should be fine to get him the ball consistent amount of time considering those top two cornerbacks for Denver are out. What stat line could Brandon McManus have today? I'm not really one to trust Brandon McManus, to be honest. As great as he has been as a kicker in terms of his ability to kick from far distances, he has never been a great fantasy kicker because he doesn't kick enough field goals. Just purely. They don't score enough in Denver for me to ever talk about him in the regard of starting him in my lineup. All right. Dirtbag Forever sent in a question, said, should I play Melvin Gordon over Keyshawn Vaughn, Gainwell, or Gibson? No. Full PPR needs safe floor. Out of the group, I think your best play there is probably Gibson, then Gainwell. Gibson's was not even mentioned on the injury report, so he's at a full capacity. Of course, the only reason he missed was because of COVID. So Antonio Gibson versus the Giants, that's the best play there. Gainwell's next best, Keyshawn Vett's third, and then Melvin Gordon actually out of that group is the worst play of the bunch. So I would just not play Melvin Gordon today. Bearded Skeptic says A.J. Brown or Hunter Renfrow in a full PPR. Currently, I have A.J. Brown higher in my rankings, mainly because if Darren Waller does return, I think it does hurt the overall base floor of Hunter Renfrow in terms of overall targets. And I think, Hunter Renfrow could probably come away with like 13, 14 points, but very easily so could A.J. Brown. As long as he gets that touchdown that he always typically scores against the Houston Texans, he should be fine. Let's see here. All right, Connor says, here's what's going on right now. I have DeAndre Swift, Darrell Williams, Javonte Williams, and Sony Michel. I also have Jonathan Taylor, but he's obviously a start. Out of these guys, who do I start? All right, cool. So, out of the potential players that you've mentioned here, Connor, obviously you're playing Jonathan Taylor. Your second best running back of the group is Sony Michel, and your third best running back of the group is Darrell Williams. So those are the three that I would go with. If it's my lineup, I would set it as those three. Thank you. Metcalf, Pirine, or Pittman says X Rush. 100% you play DK Metcalf. 1,000% in fact you play DK Metcalf over those two. Jimmy says, what's up, Andrew? Waddle or McLaurin this week? I saw A.J. Dillon, but I'm not interested in Dillon there. I would play Waddle over McLaurin and over A.J. Dillon in that regard. Amari Cooper thoughts? Yeah, look, I mean, Amari Cooper really hasn't moved much in my rankings. I currently still have him. Let's see, my wide receiver rankings, he's number 22. So I think he's a great receiver. has touchdown upside as he has shown out of 3 out of the last 4 weeks scoring. But I mean, I don't know what to do with these Dallas Cowboys receivers. CeeDee Lamb has been, less than 10 points 3 consecutive weeks here in a half PPR scoring format. Of course, with Michael Gallup going down, there's some more potential for targets. Schultz obviously is digging into that work. There's no Tony Pollard. So this could be a very heavy passing game from Dallas. But again, I don't know what their game plan looks like. I don't know what they plan on doing. I just hope that Amari Cooper could put up top 24 numbers that really just is going to barely get him there with a touchdown, because I don't think he'll get enough targets to just do that via yardage and receptions alone. Let's see here. Benjamin, Carter, or Gainwell in a standard format. In a standard format, I think Carter is the best option there. Pats or Titans defense? J. Ross, I have the Pats higher. Is Nick Chubb trustworthy this week, or should I play Vaughn or Gainwell instead? I don't know. You know what? That's the thing. In week 18, the line of I don't know is actually going to be used a lot tomorrow. So I don't know for sure if he's going to be at a full capacity. If you don't want to risk it, you just play Gainwell today, because he's going to play the full game, because they have nobody else active at the running back position for them. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they did not pull both Howard or Scott off of the COVID IR. So neither of those guys should. Okay, let's see here. Jalen Hurts' ankle injury has affected his style of play in recent weeks, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, but as long as he's playing, we'll see. Look for Gardner Minshew to get some early Eagles snaps versus the Cowboys. Yeah, I don't really care about that. Honestly, if the Cowboys are playing against a backup offense for the Eagles, I still think Gainwell is not a bad option. Because he'll just get a bunch of dump-off passes, which is actually going to be ridiculous for him, his overall upside, especially half full PPR. But in a standard format, like you were just asking me, somebody was asking Gainwell or Carter. Yeah, I do prefer Carter there. But for right now, I don't know about Nick Chubb. I have no clue. My assumption is that they wouldn't play him unless he was at a playable capacity, right? Like, it's week 18. They're not playing for a playoff position. They're really not even playing to upset the Cincinnati Bengals, because Cincinnati's not even playing their starters. So really, they're just playing for pride, and I don't think they need to risk an even more extensive rib injury for Chubb, but I don't know. It's tough to tell. Let's see here. Dak or Hurts? I have Dak Prescott 1,000% ahead of Jalen Hurts. 1,000%. YY says OBJ, Stevenson, or Vaughn in the flex spot. I'd play OBJ there. Dirtbag sent in another question, says, okay, we got that one, Dirtbag. So I'd play Antonio Gibson out of the group. And then we did Bearded Skeptic. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Rashad Penny or Darrell Williams? I have Rashad Penny higher. But again, I would love to play both of them. I mean, right now, Rashad Penny is my number 7 running back. Darrell Williams is my number 13. Like, these are guys that probably should be started. Now, if you do have Ecklers and Jonathan Taylors and Camaras and Montgomerys and Dalvin Cooks, then I understand. Najee Harris, so be it. I understand. You got to play one. I'd play Penny there. But just wanted to put that out there. Taysom Hill or Brady? I do have Brady higher. No problem, YY. Duncan Kelly says Mooney, Carter, Harris, or McLaurin in a full PPR. In a full PPR scoring format, I have McLaurin and Mooney higher than Carter and Harris. McLaurin specifically highest in the bunch. Duncan, appreciate it. Thank you. Bench Najee Harris, Sonny Michel, Darrell Williams, or Zeke. If I'm benching one out of that group, I'm benching Zeke, legitimately. I'd rather play Najee Harris, Sonny Michel, and Darrell Williams over Zeke. Again, Zeke hasn't looked great, so it's tough there. Could it be a Durness game? I think, if I'm not mistaken, Anthony, Tam, I think Kareem Hunt is expected to play. So it really isn't even going to be a Durness game. I think it's going to be like a complete rotation kind of dealio. Yeah, I mean, Kareem Hunt's questionable to play. Let me see. What was his practice capacity this week? Let's go to their injury report. So if we go to the Cleveland Browns injury report this week, Nick Chubb was limited all week. Kareem Hunt was limited all week. And then, of course, D'Ernest Johnson just came off of the COVID IR. But for right now, yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. It's so tough when you don't know if players are going to actually get a full capacity. At that point, because I'm so uncertain, I'd rather just be like, yeah, I don't actually feel like playing him. I don't feel like getting burnt, you know? So again, moral of the story, please, everyone, next year, whether you're the commissioner or whether you have to tell your commissioner 1,000 times, please, okay? Do not play in week 18 next year, please, okay? Because I'm telling you, it's not fun. When we have studs like Rodgers, Jones, Devontae Adams, Burrow, Mixon, Chubb out as a question mark, when there's players like that are potentially going to be missing this coming week, I mean, we don't even know if Jalen Hurts is going to play today. In 4 hours, they may be like Gardner Minshew starting, you know? And so be it, okay. I still think that, Devonta Smith could ball out. I still think that Kenneth Gainwell could ball out. But the whole point is you won't have your stud quarterback, right? So please make sure that next year you don't play week 18. And we will avoid this pain. But either way, we should be good to go. Elliott, anytime scorer, I like that. That's not a bad one at all. I'll take that. Spencer says, I went to high school with Samaje Perine. How about that, huh? How about that? All right. Robert sent in a question. Actually, there's a couple more. Okay, so Matt. Okay, let's get to Robert real quick. Robert says, hey, man, I have Brady or Wilson this week. Okay, so I do prefer Brady over Wilson. Tyreek Hill or Diggs, I prefer Tyreek Hill. Again, like I mentioned a little bit earlier today, Patrick Surtain, Ronald Darby, the two starting quarterbacks for the Denver Broncos, they're both out today. So Tyreek Hill for sure play. Diggs may have some weather concerns. So Tyreek Hill. Or start Tyreek Hill over Montgomery. No. I play Montgomery over Diggs. Waller over Ertz if he plays. Ertz plays against Seattle. Man, that's a great matchup for him. I think there's a possibility we may not get a full capacity Darren Waller. So what I'd suggest, you go Brady, Tyreek Hill, Zach Ertz, and that's what I would go with. Obviously, leave Montgomery in your lineup, Robert. All right, Matt Doolin says, flex, Deontay Johnson, Devin Singletary, James Conner, A.J. Brown. Out of the group, I'm probably playing Devin Singletary, yeah. Outright, I'll just play Devin Singletary over everyone that you mentioned there, Matt. Cameron says, does Zeke have or CD anything to play for? Question mark. Does Zeke or CD have anything to play for? Yeah, you changed up a little bit of the order there in terms of how you typed it in, but I understand your question. Do they have anything to play for? I mean, to be honest, yeah. Why not have a season where you win another game and you could potentially... So this is the way it goes, right? In the NFL playoffs, sure, the Green Bay Packers have home field advantage, but if you end up seeing the Green Bay Packers get knocked out in the second round of the playoffs and you have the highest record in the NFC, then you have home field advantage the rest of the way there until you get to the Super Bowl. So that's what they're playing for. They want to continue to maintain their overall home field advantage. So, I still think they do have something to play for. It could end up being a blowout, but we'll see. James Conner or Darrell Williams? Right now, because we are not 100% certain of James Conner's availability, I think you just play Darrell Williams there and you're perfectly fine. Playing for the overall score, but it's still okay. I'm up a sizable amount, but I need to say floor. Lost in the finals because of AB. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, Dirtbag. That's his name, by the way. Here we go. Also, rank Washington, KC, or Tennessee defense. Cameron, I have KC as my number 2. I think I have Washington as 5 and like Tennessee at 7. So yeah, I do prefer KC's defense this week out of the bunch. Mooney or CeeDee Lamb? Do you think CeeDee plays all game? I don't know. I don't know if he plays all game. If it becomes a blowout, then he probably won't. And if Mooney has Andy Dalton, I mean, Mooney and Andy Dalton have been incredible this season together. The averages between those two is a different level. So, again, I don't know if CeeDee Lamb's going to play the whole game. He really hasn't done much as of late to convince me to play him, which makes me think maybe there's a possibility where we might want to pivot. But, yeah, it's tough. Let's see here. All right, so Cameron says there's a second part to the super chat. Yeah, there was. Rank Zeke, Saquon, Michael Carter. I still have Zeke, Michael Carter, Saquon in that order. How long do you think Devontae will play? Probably 1 quarter. Carlton. Travis Kelce a dud? No, he should be perfectly fine. I mean, dud as in 7 points? No, I honestly think he could very easily score like 10, 11. And then anything upside from there is just going to be, 50-yard reception, 30-yard touchdown, etc., etc. Those bigger plays that every now and then we see. Let's see here. There's a lot of questions. Jake Elliott or Meyer? I think you meant Maher. Yeah, because the H is next to the Y. So if we're playing one of the two, I'd play. Well, yeah. Look, if in fact today we don't end up seeing Jalen Hurts start at quarterback, I'd play Maher there. Gainwell or Grayson as the flex and a standard. I'd still play Gainwell there. Alrighty, let's see here. Need two. Gordon, Gibson, Javonte, or Vaughn? I play Gibson and Javonte. Rodney. Grayson or Pittman in a standard? I'm playing Grayson there. Let's see here. Penny or Kittle at flex? I play Penny 1,000%. I have Eckler, Kamara, and Andrews. Yeah, I mean, I'd play Penny. It's not even a question. I think Kittle's a fantastic play against the Rams, but I still think that Penny's he's gotten us there. So let's just let him win us the championship by now. Saints or Titans defense? I have the Titans defense a little bit higher, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. My Saints defense is currently number 8, and my Titans defense is actually number 6. 7 was Tampa Bay. But yeah, so that's the answer to that one. Is Darrell Williams and Javonte Williams a good start this week? I think Darrell Williams is a fantastic start. I think Javonte Williams needs a touchdown. Otherwise, he's in trouble. Christian sends in a question. Says, full PPR. Stafford, Murray. Okay, first and foremost, I 100% rather play Kyler Murray. Follow-up, Connor, Najee Harris, Patterson, Gainwell, Javonte Williams, Michael Carter. Okay, if we're playing 2 running backs there, I want to play Najee Harris 1,000%, and I want to play James Conner. So I'll wait till tomorrow and see if I can play him. If I can't, I play Michael Carter instead. Follow-up, Freiermuth or Kelsey. I play Kelsey. A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, Justin Jefferson, Higgins. Who do I start? As of the wide receivers, I would play A.J. Brown and Deebo Samuel, and I would flex Justin Jefferson. So, Christian, top to bottom, this is your starting lineup. Murray at quarterback, Connor and Najee Harris at running back, A.J. Brown and Deebo Samuel at wide receiver, Travis Kelce at tight end, and Justin Jefferson as your flex. Thank you. Is Kittle a safe play? Lance seems to avoid him. I think I saw a report just a little bit ago that it looks like Jimmy G is going to be playing. So let me check that right now. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reports Jimmy Garoppolo has a quote-unquote realistic chance of starting in Week 18. Garoppolo practiced all week and has reportedly been impressive while dealing with a bone chip in his right thumb. The 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan has said Jimmy G will get the nod against the Rams if he can suit up for the team's must-win game. If not, Trey Lance will play for the 49ers to try to make a playoff push. I mean, if he was limited the whole week, it looks like he's probably going to play, which looks like pretty good chances for Kittle, Deebo Samuel to get Brandon Ayuk, get more value out of this entire scenario. You know what? You make a good point there, Dirkbag. Everybody click the like button if you guys could. If you do appreciate my my efforts, greatly appreciate if you guys could click that like button down below. It does help out a bunch. Colts defensive rank. Let me just talk about, I'm just going to name it top to bottom. Here's my top 12, okay? Here it is. You guys ready? I'm perfectly fine with this. Let's go top to bottom. Top 12. Buffalo, Kansas City, New England, Indianapolis, Washington, Tennessee, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Dallas, Cleveland, San Francisco, LA Rams. Those are my top 12 defenses of the week. Thank you very much. Top to bottom. So hopefully that wasn't too fast. If it is too fast, you can click the rewind button on the stream and kind of figure it out. All right. So are we benching all Cowboys? Why would we bench all Cowboys? Did they say something about not starting their players all of a sudden? Like, I don't understand. Look, here's the thing. Unless I get a definitive statement out of one of these teams saying X or Y player is not playing or X or Y player is going to play only at a limited capacity, I have to assume that they're going to play. And they're going to play at the almost the entire game there. Carlton says Penny, Foreman, or Mitchell. I play Penny there out of the group. Won my championship. Thanks for the help. No problem. Glad I could help in any way. Mooney or Cooper? I believe I have Mooney ahead of Cooper in my rankings. All right, let's see here. PPR Lamb, Mitchell, Foreman, or Penny? Again, I play Penny there. PPR Javonte Williams or P. Ryan? I play Javonte Williams. Start Vaughn standard over Zeke, Michelle, or Elijah Mitchell? No. I play Zeke, Michelle, and Elijah Mitchell over Vaughn, Lorenzo. Amari Cooper, Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Terry McLaurin? Pick 2. Out of the group, Hector, I play Waddle and St. Brown. Thank you. That's a funny comment there. That's a good one. Should we be worried about CeeDee Lamb? I don't know. That's the issue, guys. Week 18, look, if you have a decent option outside of CeeDee Lamb, sure, maybe you can pivot. Maybe you go find another player. But what's to say that CeeDee Lamb in the first quarter doesn't have 2 receptions for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns? Nothing, right? So if he's going to play, there's a possibility that he ends up doing some damage against that Philadelphia Eagles defense. So, again, I don't know how much he's going to play. I don't know what they expect to do. I wish I knew, because if I knew, make my job a lot easier here to help you guys out. But for right now, my assumption is that he'll play, and hopefully he'll play the whole game and get as many stats as he possibly can. Is Davis Mills a sneaky start for DFS? Yes, I do believe he is a great start for a sneaky DFS play. Honestly, another sneaky DFS play that may be like legitimately, it may be the cheapest play is Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love could do something against that Detroit Lions defense in the second half. So there's always a possibility of that. Oh, my neck just broke. Being a decent option there. 2022 NFL Draft quarterback sleeper, Utah State Logan Bonner. Huh? How about that? Let's see. A.J. Dillon or Samaje Perine? I'd probably still play A.J. Dillon there. Taysom Hill or Prescott? I do have Taysom Hill higher in my rankings, as I did earlier this week during my video. Renfro or Adams? I have Renfro higher. Taysom Hill or Mahomes? 1,000% play Mahomes. Zeke, Gordon, or Freeman? I play Zeke over the bunch there, TTB. All right, so it's about 1 o'clock almost my time. It's actually 12:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over here. What I wanted to go ahead and do, of course, I'll continue to be answering questions, but I also wanted to go ahead and hop into a couple drafts for this weekend's Underdog Fantasy. Let's see. Let me go set this sucker up before I hop into it and have to wait for a couple people to join. Let me see what kind of questions are coming in here. Should I start Fant over Goddard? I'm pretty sure Goddard's not playing. Am I crazy? Let me check this. I was under the impression that Goddard's out. He's on the IR, the COVID IR. Yeah, Goddard's not playing today. I mean, I don't think he's been cleared unless somebody's got some information that I'm completely missing, and I'd love to be notified of that immediately. So appreciate that. All right, let's see here. Let's scroll this down. Jimmy G or Huntley? I don't know if Jimmy G's going to play, but if he does, I'd play him over Huntley. Thank you very much. Thank you for the compliment. It's almost 7 a.m. here. Wow, okay. You're on the other side of the world, huh? My goodness. Murray, Hill, or Huntley? I do prefer Murray over the bunch there, Jeremy. Thank you, G. Garcia. Yes, if you guys could click that like button and try to get us over 100 likes today, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thoughts on Cyril Grayson? I think he's a great play. Top 24 wide receiver this week. P. Ryan, Gibson, Gainwell, or Vaughn? Pick 2. I play Gibson and Gainwell. Murray or Lance? I play Murray. Again, a lot of the rankings, guys, from earlier this week at the quarterback, tight end positions, they haven't changed. There really hasn't been much to force change in those overall rankings, so those pretty much stay relatively the same in my eyes. There's a couple adjustments here and there, but for right now, yeah, I'd still play Murray over Lance or Jimmy G, whatever of the two. Brady, Wentz, or Dak? I have Brady as the highest ranked there. Anthony, thank you. Okay, let's see here. Cool. All right, so let me go ahead. Let me see what we can do here real quick. Ooh, that's actually not a bad idea. All right, so let's close this. Let's move this sucker here. All right, if you guys see me looking up, it's because I'm using my second monitor, so do not panic. Damn, you're in Guam? Never get to see your live shows. Start at 1 a.m. on Monday morning. Dang. Holy moly. That's crazy. That's crazy. Chase or Lamb, full PPR. Jamar Chase is not playing this week. I'll outright definitively say that. I do not believe he's playing this week. So I would say you're probably playing CeeDee Lamb. Swift, Gainwell, or Pirine? I'd go Gainwell, Swift, Pirine in that order. Darren Waller or Ertz? Right now, considering I don't know if Darren Waller is going to 1,000% play, I'd say Ertz, but we'll have to wait till tomorrow. If there's no word on him potentially not playing, I still think there's a chance that you just play Ertz because he's the safer of the bunch. He has a great matchup as well. And you know you're going to get a 100% healthy Ertz in comparison to a pretty banged up Waller who could leave the game with an injury like he has in the past. But there's multiple people from Guam in here. Caleb also? Damn. How about that? Random. But what do you think about Kittle under 59 yards? That you make a good point here. So let's go ahead and let's look at this really quickly, shall we? So let me go ahead. Let me filter my screen cap. Do not be afraid. The ball is coming, but it's nothing to worry about. All right, so let's look at this really quickly. I'm going to move myself a little bit to the right here. Okay, so we're here at Underdog Fantasy. Again, if you guys haven't checked them out before, there's a link down in the description. You can travel to their site. If you're interested, check them out. If you go ahead, sign up today using promo code Andrew, Underdog Fantasy will win a match up to $100 of your first deposit. Again, if you drop $30, they'll match your $30. You drop $100, they'll match you with $100. All right, somebody said, what do you think about yardage on Kittle? How about that? Wait, what the heck? Gardner Minshew's getting yardage? Wait, am I missing something? Did Jalen Hurts not get the start? Again, this is why we don't play in Week 18, everybody. Okay, anyway, I'm just going to scroll past that. We'll get to that in a bit. Where the heck is George Kittle in his yardage? All right, so I have George Kittle over here with 60.5 yards. All right, so let me look at some stuff here. Here's the thing. I think George Kittle in that prop specifically, over under 59, 61, whatever it ends up being, it's purely based on who's playing quarterback. If it is going to be Trey Lance, I'd go with the under. But if we end up seeing it be Jimmy Garoppolo, I think it's a pretty safe over, mainly because these are the last 6, 7, 8 games against the Los Angeles Rams for George Kittle. These are his receiving yard totals. So here we go. George Kittle against the Rams. 50 was earlier this season, 50 yards. And then 109, 79, 103, 149, 98, and 100. He dominates against the Rams. They have their number. And I don't expect Kyle Shanahan to shy away from throwing the ball or getting the ball to George Kittle. So if Jimmy Garoppolo is playing, I think the over here, it's pretty much set in stone. I truly do think that's the case. Wow, they got a Deebo Samuel rushing yard number here. Sheesh. I think that's an over, to be honest. Hold up. Give me a moment. All right, let me get back to this chat real quick. Honestly, guys, if you've got a suggestion, if you want to just travel to the site and help me make a pick'em slip, I'd appreciate that. Throw out some things in the chat as to some pick'ems that you're confident in. Because honestly, I'm pretty confident in the idea that I could go Odell Beckham over 45 yards there and find some success. Dalton Schultz or Darren Waller, I'd go with Dalton Schultz this week. Keyshawn Vaughn or Le'Veon Bell. Keyshawn Vaughn fully practiced. He should be the starter. That's my expectation. That's who I'd play. Should I have Gainwell as my RB2? I don't know who else to play. I mean, yeah, I think Gainwell is a fantastic play regardless because he's going to get a lot of receptions out of this backfield and certainly will have any sort of goal line opportunity available. Why are you so low on Perine? Look, mainly because look, if Brandon Allen's going to be the starting quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, how much can we truly expect? If Brandon Allen's throwing the ball to Auden Tate as his number one receiving option, I mean, like, what are we expecting? Like, sure, there's a possibility that somehow, some way, Samaje Perine catch the ball 6 times out of the backfield for 50 yards, scores a touchdown, XYZ, and he's a 15-plus point play. But I just don't know if that's going to be the case. You know, like, I've seen it in, prior week 17s where, like, guys like, who was last season's Kansas City kid that went off? I'm trying to remember his name. He doesn't even play anymore. I think he's like a practice squad. We've seen practice squad guys come out of nowhere and just dominate in week 17. So now week 18, there's always a chance that Samaje Perine could go for 50 points, but it's really just, it's tough to imagine that being a possibility when, I don't really trust the quarterback and I don't even know if those wide receivers are playing. So all really Cleveland has to do is stack the box and stop the run. Let's see here. Okay, so let me see what I can put together here. So I think George Kittle's pretty solid there. Let me look some stats up on Deebo Samuel rushing. Deebo Samuel rushing is kind of a dirty stat. He's just been so good at it. So his last couple games, 36, 79, 66, 37, 29, 32, and 19. He wasn't able to surpass 25.5 this last week, but he was able to do it for a consecutive 6-week streak. He's still getting the same amount of rushing attempts, if not more. Let me look at his, I think he always rushes against the Rams, typically in his career. Let me look at this. Earlier this season, 5 carries for 36. And then we saw him in 2019, 3 carries for 28. I'll take the over on that as well. Let's see. All right, what else could we find here? I mean, that's honestly by itself. Those two are a pretty decent slip. Honestly, I do prefer, I think 55.5 yards. If it is Jimmy G, the over is a smash there. It really is. So, to be honest, really quickly, I'll just put this one. I'm just going to slam this one real quick. Give me a little quick $5 bet. Wait, I have to have 2 teams. Okay, we can make this work. I got to find another sneaky play here. Kenneth Gainwell, actually not a bad one. 66.5. Can he get over 67 total yards? If he gets 30 rushing, 30 receiving, a little bit of, honestly, it's not a bad play. I think Ray McCloud's actually a smash here at over 25.5. But that's a different conversation. I gotta let me scroll this. Let me scroll this list. Let's see what's going on here. Donta Foreman still looks spicy. Is Henry gonna play? Not this week, but in the playoffs, sure. Traquan Smith at 40.5. He's gone over in the last 6. Good call. Actually, good call. Let's go. I'm down. Let's go. There you go, my man. All right, cool. $5 entry, 6 times my money. You know what? While we're at it, hold up. Hefe, if you're over there and you want to call out some more, I'll add a couple more to this. If we want to add this to if we want to potentially put 5 pick'ems in here, I'm down. If you guys got some ideas, that's a really good one, actually. I mean, look, I like Laquan Treadwell probably more than anybody. I've mentioned him on waiver wires for the last 8 weeks consecutive here. So not bad. Have you ever had a paranormal experience? No. I have not. I've seen the movie, Paranormal Activity. That's a good one. Dak, 199.5. So already Underdog is assuming that Dak's not playing that full game. And that's why they don't have any other props for any other players, because they don't even know what the heck's going on. Imagine that reality, huh? But look, this game, we know everyone's playing at a full capacity. So this kind of gives you an idea as to what the book thinks and where we could potentially go. Just putting it out there. Darrell Williams or Sony Michel, Sammy says. Sammy, I would go with Darrell Williams in a full PPR. I would go with Sony Michel in a half. Standard. Thank you. All right, who did I have earlier? And look, I think Michael Carter over 37.5 yards is It's automatic. I really do think it's a great play. But I don't want to put him in every single pick'em slip I have this weekend, so I got to diversify a little bit here. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett over on these yards. Bro, I mean, these are actually very attainable. These are, oh man, but his yardage as of late, no. Now it's beginning to frighten me. Zach Ertz should be easy to surpass that. Austin Eckler, that's a lot of yards. I mean, he should be able to accomplish that, but if Justin Jackson's getting as much work as he has as of late, that could be in a little bit of jeopardy. Let's see here. Goddard or Mooney? I'm pretty sure Goddard's out, so you're playing Mooney 100% there. Would you shave your beard if the Rams win the... I'm assuming you meant Super Bowl, but you didn't put another word there. I would not, no. The only way I would shave my beard is if someone told me they were going to donate a large sum of money to a charity, or that charity being my wallet. So if someone wanted to pay me, I would shave my beard. Outside of that, I would not be interested in doing so. Thank you. Good question though. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna sneak around here. I'm just gonna lock this one in. I'll take this one. The Laquan Treadwell bet is actually kind of spicy. Anybody a NBA fiend out here? Waddle at 54.5. I'm afraid of Bill Belichick to an extent, but I don't mind that. Listen, you tell me the pick 'em, I'll take it. I'm not even kidding. I'll take it. I don't mind the over there. Stafford on the over on the interceptions. I did that yesterday. I'll do it again. I'm down. Do you believe AB's story? I don't really care. If he's not playing in fantasy football, I really don't put much concern into it. Let's see here. Christian Kirk or Antonio Gibson? Sergio, I'd play Antonio Gibson there. Thank you. Need help, Waller, Goddard, or Henry? I'd play Waller over Goddard and Henry because I don't expect Goddard to play today, and Hunter Henry's been a bum as of late. Pick one running back, Pirine, Foreman, Damian Harris, or Agumbawale. I'm playing Dante Foreman there for sure. DK says Minshew, Locke, Huntley for the championship. I play Huntley. Thank you. All right, so I'll take the over there on both Waddle and Matthew Stafford interceptions. I mean, he's thrown 6 in the last 3 weeks, which is beautiful for us in that regard. I think Callaway on the over on these yardage is actually very capable. I mean, he's done it the last 3 consecutive weeks. You know what? I'll take the Callaway over. I'm just going to put together a 5-part slip here if I can. I like Michael Carter again. I don't want him in every single slip that I put together. I think Laquan Treadwell actually is going to be able to surpass that. Actually, a good call. Damn, why is it so low on his yardage? I'm actually curious. Who is he matching up against this week? Let me go find. Oh, actually, I'm not going to open up the browser yet. We'll actually do that on a different monitor so it doesn't make a difference. You still streaming tomorrow? Cam, yes. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the channel. I will be live streaming. I'll have updated rankings on screen. And hopefully have a little bit more transparency as to what the heck is going on this week. So, yes, I will be live streaming tomorrow. Deontay Johnson, 63.5 yards. My concern about Deontay is whether or not he's actually fully healthy. I know he got activated, but I don't know if he's at a full capacity, how he's feeling. So I'm a little worried in that regard. Gibson, Damian Williams, or Elijah Mitchell, says Eric. Eric, I have Mitchell, Darrell Williams, and Gibson in that order. Thank you. Is there a rushing yard total? What about Carson Wentz? Does he run a lot? Nah. Look, these are the 50-50 games. What do I have here? Okay, I got 4 parts here. You know what? Let's not put Laquan in here. I mean, it's a great play, but I don't want to have everything hinged on one player. Honestly, I think this number is actually quite elusive. If he catches the ball 3 times today, he could very easily surpass. I think that's a very surpassable number. I'll take the 23.5 there. Dak's numbers are being adjusted as we speak. I think Ray-William McLeod actually probably gets over that number, but I'm a little sketched out about it still in that regard. Tyler Huntley over 40.5 rushing yards. He has surpassed that number in every start of his season, if I'm not mistaken. I'll take that as the final one here. Let's look at this. Tyler Huntley, rushing yards, 40, 45, 73, 54. What is it? 40.5? I'll take it. Give me that. All right. 5-leg pick'em slip. Waddle on the over, Stafford on the over, Callaway on the over, Darrell Williams on the over, and Huntley on the over. Darrell Williams could very easily today kill that. But you know what? I'm willing to take the risk. $5 risk for a $100 payout. I'll take it. I will take it. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I want to actually draft a team real quick. Let's go to drafts. Let me hop into one of these. Yes, please. All right. It's already full. All right. So just to kind of give you guys some perspective as to what the heck this is in terms of a draft. I'm drafting with 2 other players. I'm drafting purely just, I got the first pick. Purely just for the Kansas City versus Denver game. I get to pick 4 players, all flex plays, no quarterbacks because, again, it's 3 teams. And I get to compete against thousands to see if I can win the cash prize. Saturday squabble. Pretty good to go. All right, let me go back to the chat and see what's going on in terms of Huntley rushing yards. Yeah, it's actually good. Under on Cup. What was his total at? Like 116 and a half? It's pretty high. All right, let's see. Couple questions were sent in. Michelle, Elliott, or Williams? Out of the group, I prefer Michelle in a half PPR, Elliott in a full PPR. Scratch that. Williams in a full PPR. So Michelle in a half PPR, Williams in a full PPR. Elliott is probably the second. Actually, he's the 3rd ranked in both scoring formats out of those 3 that you mentioned there, Jasmine. So for right now, yeah, if you play half PPR, Sony Michel. If you play full PPR, Darrell Williams. I'm taking Tyreek Hill. Typically, I'd be crazy and I'd take Darrell Williams here. But for right now, I'm on the Tyreek Hill train today. Pick 2, Darnell Williams, Rashad. Okay, so Darnell Williams? You mean Darrell Williams? Oh, yeah, sorry. I just read it wrong. I'm just completely gone. Darrell Williams, Rashad Penny, and Darnell Mooney. I would play Williams and Penny there, Dominic. Am I on the clock already? So what happened here? So it went Hill, Williams, Kelsey, Javonte, Noah Fant. All right, so I think this is going to be a game. Let me think about how I want to do this. Melvin Gordon could be decent. I just don't trust it. I'm going to go Byron Pringle because I'm crazy. And where's Derek Gore? Wait, what the heck? Hello? Not like this, right? No. Hold on, wait. Am I on the clock still? Good. Okay. I was like, what the heck? And I'm going to go Derek Gore for garbage time touchdown. So I've picked 3 Kansas City Chiefs. Technically, I need to 100% have a Denver Bronco rostered, so that's fine. I'll just wait, and I'll probably pick up like Tim Patrick as my final pick. If not, I'll find somebody else to fill the spot and be okay with it. All right, going back to the chat. Boom. Do you think the Cowboys defense is a good start against the Eagles? Yes, I do think that's a great start against the Eagles. Lorenzo says Javonte Williams, Gibson, or Zeke in a standard. Out of the group, I do prefer Zeke in a standard format because I think he has the highest upside for touchdown of the group. Then Gibson's my next highest, and then it's Javonte last. See where Melvin Gordon fell? I mean, Melvin Gordon as a 3rd round pick in this kind of a format could end up being the best play or the best player. You know, oh, he's going to take Tim Patrick, huh? Oh, he didn't. Wait a minute. Okay, let's go. I'll take Tim Patrick. We'll take that. Did I do another draft? Oh, that's right. And then my internet went out. Dude, it almost did it to me earlier, just right now, where my internet almost went out. Anyway, so if you guys want to check out Underdog Fantasy, bunch of drafts you can take care of. There's a Saturday squabble. There's NFL playoff drafts that you can see over my shoulder. One right here is called the Gauntlet. You may be wondering where that's from. Hidden Gem. What? Anyway, the Saturday night Battle Royale. There's a Dallas Cowboy one, huh? Okay, I might have to draft that one later. Just so I can, actually, that's not a bad one. Kenneth Gainwell, first pick. You never know. Anyway, there's even NBA. There's even NHL. Check it out. If you're interested, use promo code Andrew today. There's a link down in the description to UnderdogFantasy.com. Thank you. All right. Let me go ahead and go back here really quickly and close out today's last 15 minutes of the stream by answering every question that I can possibly answer without any sort of distractions, okay? So let's do this, shall we? Javonte Williams or Michael Carter? I do prefer Javonte Williams. Is this available in Las Vegas or is it like DraftKings and banned? I don't know, actually. I'm going to look that up. Underdog Fantasy legal states. Let's see here. Great question, actually. I think if you go and download the app on your phone, it'll tell you. Or okay, so let's see here. So currently legal states, except for, let me. When was this article posted? This was 2021. It could have changed. This is November of 2021. Okay, technically it says Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho, Nevada. Yeah, Nevada. It's wait. Yeah, so it does not. You can't do it in Nevada. You cannot. So, just to answer your question, is Damien Harris playing? I have no clue. My assumption is that he probably will, but it'll be at a limited capacity, which is why I actually prefer Ramondre this week. Let's see here. Okay, so BS says full PPR: Josh Jacobs, Darrell Williams, Elijah Mitchell, Damien Harris, or Ramondre Stevenson. Okay, out of those group of players, if I'm picking two, oh man, in a full PPR, I want Josh Jacobs and I want Darrell Williams. Oh, do I want to sit Elijah Mitchell? I think Mitchell's great, but I think the Rams defense is pretty good. So yeah, I'd go Josh Jacobs, I'd go Darrell Williams. Those are my two suggestions there in a full PPR there, BS. Actually, you know what? Let me check something real quick. Actually curious on a couple stats here. If he gets, let's see here. I'm trying to just assume how many points he'll get. If Elijah Mitchell scores a touchdown, I think Darrell Williams should be able to score. Josh Jacobs should be able to score. Yeah, in a full PPR, I go with those two guys. They have higher receiving upside. All right, let's see here. Need to start two this weekend. We have Perine, Burkhead, Vaughn, Gainwell, Carter. Out of that group, DG, I prefer Gainwell and Carter. Pick a running back: Perine, Foreman, Damien Harris, or Gumbawale. Canes on YouTube. I would play Dante Foreman. Is Sony Michel in for a big game? He's been pretty incredible for the last month now. With no Darrell Henderson back there, he's pretty much just dominating the work and playing very well. So I think he's primed probably for a 15-point game in my opinion, which is why I have him as a top 10 running back. Javonte or Eno Benjamin. Considering we don't know if Eno Benjamin is going to be the starter because we don't know if James Conner is going to play or not, I'd say you just have to play Javonte Williams right now. And I'm 100% happy doing so. What do you think about OBJ this week? I think OBJ should be great. Look, if I'm not mistaken, Emmanuel Mosley's back for the 49ers secondary. Let me confirm this. Let's go to the practice injury report real quick. Let's see here. Have they confirmed that? No. Okay, let's go check this. Emmanuel Mosley, because he's actually a really good cornerback. So if he comes back, could be a little bit tougher for him, for OBJ. Okay, this is an article from 22 hours ago from Niners Wire. The 49ers get some much-needed good news from cornerback front on Friday ahead of the Week 18 showdown versus the Rams in Los Angeles. Cornerback Aubrey Thomas is officially activated, and head coach Kyle Shanahan on Friday expressed his optimism that cornerback Emmanuel Mosley will be activated off the injured reserve for the following following a week of practice. Cool. Thomas activation leaves the cornerback trio. Okay. I think he should be fine. I don't expect insanity of numbers, but I'm thinking he should be fine. He should very easily be a low end wide receiver 2. OBJ should be. Is Mixon out? Yes, Mixon is out. Full PPR: Darren Waller, Dalton Schultz. No good backup for if Waller sits. Yeah, I would play Dalton Schultz in that capacity. I still have Dalton Schultz higher in my rankings right now. Still, is this a fluke year for Kupp, or will he be a first rounder next year with Woods back? I still think, regardless of whether Woods is back, Cooper Kupp is going to be a first round pick next year. If you're asking if he's going to have regression, I 100% believe he will have regression. But regardless, I think in a full PPR, he deserves to be a top 5 pick next year, probably top 3, to be honest. So, he's put up legendary numbers. Is there a possibility he takes a couple steps back? Sure. But He could also just play well again because it's Matthew Stafford, right? As long as Stafford continues to sling the rock in his direction, he's finding success. Okay, let me scroll back up. It was a couple. Actually, let's. If you guys typed a question and I missed it a little bit earlier in the stream, like maybe like 5 to 10 minutes ago, you could type it again. I'm more than happy to help you guys. Limited Storm 0 says Zeke, Gainwell, Foreman, Clement. Need 2 in a full PPR. If I'm playing 2 in a full PPR out of the mentioned names, I'm playing Foreman and I'm playing Zeke. I want to play Gainwell over Zeke. But by all means, I really do. But I don't know if I can. Man, I don't know if I can. Yeah, Foreman for sure. And then I think I have to play Zeke. It's just tough not to play him. Keeper league. But hey, if you're feeling ballsy, then yeah, you would go Gainwell over Zeke there. But 100% Foreman. Keeper league. Do I trade Debo, Jefferson, Eno for Damian Harris, Chase, Waddle, Jefferson? How many players can you keep, Canes? How many players can you keep? Would you play Rodgers in a 2 QB league? Corey, no. Who else do you have available? DeGene says, bro, please help me. Please. Darrell Williams, Dalvin, or DK in the flex position? Really good question, actually. If you have Dalvin Cook available, I would play him in your flex position. Taysom Hill or Matthew Stafford? Super Panda Bear 32, I would play Taysom Hill. Do you have a video for first-time commissioners and advice to run a solid league? I do not have a video, but that's a great suggestion. I will consider making one of those before the 2022 season begins. So yeah, I appreciate that. I will consider that and try to throw that into the list of videos I should probably look into to make. I mean, honestly, it doesn't even have to be that long of a video because truly, there's just a couple settings that need to be like widely ran, and then you're good to go. Let's see here. A couple questions coming in here. Pick 3, we have Chubb, Singletary, Darrell Williams, Gainwell, and Keyshawn Vaughn. Right now, Jose, okay, I would play Darrell Williams and Singletary without a doubt in my mind. And between Chubb, Gainwell, and Keyshawn Vaughn, I want to play Chubb. I want to assume that he'll be at a full capacity. So for right now, let's just wait and see what happens tomorrow. But for sure, Singletary and Darrell Williams are must-starts there, Jose. Reese says Zeke, Connor, Damian Harris in the flex standard for the chip. I want to play Connor there, but I don't know if he's going to play. I want to play Damian Harris there over Zeke as well, but I don't know if he's going to play. So for right now, I guess you're at the point where you have to maybe risk it. I think I just wait till tomorrow. Let's wait till tomorrow. Let's see if we can hopefully play Connor. And if we can't, we'll pivot. Yes, Dirtbag Forever makes a great point. We are about 6 likes away from getting over 100. If you guys could help me out, that'd be greatly appreciated. Just click the like button down below. Thank you very much. You keep your whole team. Oh, so it's a dynasty league. Okay. You can trade picks for the number 2 pick for rookie next year. Okay, cool. Got it. So you're playing in a dynasty. So would you trade that for that? Would you trade Debo, Jefferson, Eno for Damian Harris, Chase, Waddle, and Jefferson? So basically you're asking, am I trading Debo and Jefferson for Chase and Waddle? That's purely what it is. Because I don't really care about the Damian Harris, Van Jefferson, Eno Benjamins. It's really just a 2 for 2. Yes. The answer is yes. I would rather have Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle rest of the way for the next 10 years over the other team. So yes, I would take Chase and Waddle. Let's see here. Darrell Williams or Rashad Penny? It says Victor. I would play Rashad Penny there, Victor. Thank you. I mean, I want to play both those guys. They're both top 12 in my eyes. But yeah, if you don't have another, if you have better options than Darrell Williams right now, you have to play Penny. Brady or Mahomes? I played Mahomes today, Brandon, 100%. Again, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, maybe you weren't in here, Brandon. The top 2 cornerbacks for the Denver Broncos, they're out. Patrick Surtain, Ronald Darby, not playing. So Mahomes should be in a pretty easy spot to dice up that defense. Let's see here. Thank you guys for helping us get over on 100 likes. I greatly do appreciate that. Mr. Dirtbag Forever, always spamming that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hefe says last one. Cooks 64.5. Okay. Hefe, I'm going to take all of your picks. Let's see here, Hefe. I mean, I like it a lot, actually. Like, during my Hidden Gems video, when I was making pick'ems yesterday, I mean, at the end of the video, I was like, dude, guys, Brandon Cooks on this over is pretty clean. So let's see here. Right now, the couple that you mentioned here, let's go find them. We had Brandon Cooks on the over. We'll take that on the over, and we'll take this on the over, and we're good to go. I think I might want to just do a pick'em just for today. Yeah, I'll probably put a couple pick'ems just for tonight's game, but we'll see. And then we'll put that, and we'll send it. Perfect. Submit. Thank you. Thank you, Hefe. I appreciate that. Alrighty, let's see here. Darrell Williams or Jalen Waddle in a full PPR? That's a really good question. Right now, I think I'm still going Darrell Williams. Will Kupp go off this week, or will he be rested? He's 100% playing at a full capacity. Because if, in fact, the Rams lose and the Cardinals win, the Rams lose their home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. So they are going to fully play him, and they're going to fully play their entire offense. Are they going to win? That's to be seen. The 49ers have beat the Rams the last 5 consecutive games. So it's tough. But for right now, yeah, I would go with playing Kupp for sure. Hill or Kelsey? I prefer Hill this week if we're just going off of who's scoring more. Pick one, Nick Folk or Jake Elliott? I prefer Nick Folk. Thank you, Tyler. Gainwell or Javonte Williams with Hurts injured? Right now, if it's a full PPR, I'll take Gainwell. If it's a half, I'll take Javonte. John Zavala says Superflex pick 2, Russell Wilson, Taylor Heineke, Ryan Tannehill. I played Russell Wilson and Ryan Tannehill this week. Thank you. Victor says, thanks, man. It's been a pleasure to enjoy this season with your help. Thank you very much, Victor. Glad I could help in any possible way. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel as per usual. I mean, you guys have just been awesome this season, and glad I can help. Tyler says, Gainwell, Foreman, Stevenson, Bell, or Barkley? Foreman for sure. And then if we have to play between Gainwell and Stevenson, I think I'm just going to wait till tomorrow. Maybe we just play Gainwell today. I have trust that Gainwell will get the job done, but if he only gets 10 points and Stevenson goes for another 20, it could be rough. For right now, I'd say let's just play Foreman and let's wait on Stevenson tomorrow. Gainwell or Penny, full PPR? I'd play Penny. Aaron. Is Swift still playable? I mean, he's playable, but he's not very trustworthy. I mean, I just don't know how much opportunity he's going to get. Are they just trying to hold him off for next year? You know, he's only in his second year. They don't need to, rush him back from an injury. That's kind of what it looked like last week, so I don't know if they'll rush him into anything this week. Swift, Clement, or Le'Veon Bell this week, says Caleb. I play Swift. At that point, I play Swift. Phil says, is James Conner going to be the lead back for the Arizona Cardinals this week? Assuming he plays, yes, he should be the lead back. And he should play, he should be normal James Conner. We know the stats. When James Conner plays without Chase Edmonds in the backfield, the dude is an 18 fantasy point per week guy and a half PPR. So, yeah. What time is the Philly game out? I think it's 4 hours from now. Exactly 4 hours from now. Terry McLaurin or Van Jefferson? I prefer Terry McLaurin. BS. How often do you trust projected points for a player? Very seldom. I don't look at projected points often because, as we all can tell, if you go back to your season this year in your fantasy league and just go back in the weeks, I can assure you that a lot of the weeks where you were projected 125 points, you performed far less than that. So projections really are, it's just a mathematical equation that they just throw up based on, I guess, consistency, how many points defenses give up, and then their algorithm spits out a number. But yeah, I don't really trust projected points very much. Zay Jones, Ayuk, Osborne, Grayson in a full PPR. I play Grayson there. Cyril Grayson's the best option there, Silver. Vikings or Washington defense, I play Washington. Zeke or Elijah Mitchell, I play Elijah Mitchell there, Michael. Mike McNeely. What about the Chiefs game? Is that 4 hours too? No, the Chiefs game just started actually. The Chiefs game's on. I'm about to go watch that game right now. But I just wanted to answer a couple more questions before I leave. I know Phil's in here. I always got to help my boy Phil out. PPR meant Amari Cooper or Darren Waller. You play Waller this week over Amari Cooper. Penny or Michelle in a full PPR. I play Penny there. I mean, honestly, I'd like to start both, but yeah, if you have to play one, you play Penny. Phil says St. Brown, Darrell Williams, or Hunter Renfrow in the flex. Right now, Phil, I'd probably play St. Brown. Who the heck plays fantasy this week? You know, it is unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. Hopefully next year, a lot of these leagues will go ahead and tell their commissioners to adjust it, make sure that we're not playing a week 18 to avoid this kind of terrible uncertainty. Just joined, but have they decided which Eagles RB they're gonna run? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's only Kenneth Gainwell, because I don't believe Jordan Howard or Boston Scott got off the injured reserve. Huntley or Dak? I'd probably roll with Dak today. Chase or Samaje Perine? I'd play with Samaje Perine this week as your flex option there, James Miller. All right. I think we're good to go, right? Well, Williams is already playing now, so thank you for saying St. Brown. Yeah, no, that's where I would go, honestly. In a full half PPR, St. Brown's been unbelievable against Jared Goff back. We know how much Jared Goff used to like to throw the flex. I mean, he's already done it. I mean, the slot receiver in that role, considering there is no Hawkinson, it's a smash play. Vaughn or Gainwell? I'd play Gainwell. DK, Gibson, or Gainwell? X Rush, I'd play Gibson and DK. Do you think Jonathan Taylor's getting 20 plus or 25 plus points? I think 20 plus points is pretty safe. 25, that's a little bit of a stretch. I could swap Sony Michel in at the flex, but I've got Kirk now. Christian Kirk. I play Sony Michel over Christian Kirk. Taysom Hill or Matthew Stafford? I go Taysom Hill. Tyler Grubb says, thanks, Andrew. First year, and I got to the championship. Thanks to you. Yeah, no problem, Tyler. I'm glad I could help in any way. Schultz, good play this week. I think he should be perfectly fine. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Live streaming. Trying to help you guys out as much as I possibly can. I do appreciate you guys coming out today. Again, after this week, fantasy doesn't have to end. You can go ahead and check out Underdog Fantasy. Sign up today. We went ahead. We drafted a team. We put up a couple pick'ems. Hopefully those are going to hit. So again, if you use promo code Andrew today, or use the link down in the description of the video and sign up today, Underdog Fantasy is willing to match up to $100 of your first deposit. I do appreciate you guys supporting, clicking the like button. Again, tomorrow morning, I'll be back for a 2-hour stream with updated rankings for all of the above. Caleb says Swift or Gainwell. I play Gainwell. If I win this week, I win the title for my second year in a row. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, listen, Phil. I was invested in your overall season last year. I'm just as invested this year and hoping that I can help you win. I appreciate you guys tomorrow. Good luck tonight. I don't really like Saturday football, especially for fantasy football. It's always rough, but it is what it is. We have to survive. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow. Mañana. Peace.